Mike, thanks. What's the story of your family? As African Americans, it's not that easy to piece it all together. Luckily, Black Ancestries can do the legwork. And joining me is genealogist André Kearns, founder and CEO of Black Ancestries. André, welcome to the Black Perspective on the Black Information Network.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
What a service you've created for us. How tough is it to find our stories?
Oh, wow. Well, listen, African American genealogy presents an amazing opportunity, but also very unique challenges. And that's tied back to enslavement. So slavery separated families, stripped people of their names, and often our ancestors were recorded as property instead of people. And so the 1870 census in the United States, the U.S. has captured the census every 10 years since 1790, but it only captures the names of free citizens. So the 1870 census is the first federal census where, as African Americans, our formerly enslaved ancestors appear by name. And so often for African Americans interested in researching their family, they hit what I call the 1870 brick wall. It's hard for them to get beyond that, right? And so in order to do that, researchers really need to use a wider range of documents and evidence to help push beyond 1870. So that includes oral family history. So making sure that you're talking with your family elders, and gathering all the clues about your family history from them, estate records for enslavers. So if you can get some clues on who might have enslaved your family, again, since our enslaved ancestors were treated as property in these records, you're going to have to find them in the records of those who enslaved them. Court documents, perhaps. Freedmen Bureau records. So Freedmen Bureau records are often very valuable glimpses into the lives of our ancestors immediately after emancipation. Even DNA. I found DNA very valuable as a source of evidence where documentary records are absent. And so I would say with all of these sources and combinations, it is possible to trace African American families earlier than 1870. But you really just need the expertise to know where to look and what to look for.
Well, thank goodness for you guys, because that sounds very tedious.
Well, it is. I don't see it as tedious. I really enjoy researching. I've been researching my family history for 20 years, but I also understand that most people don't enjoy that in-depth research, or they don't have the time or desire to do it. The analogy I use is most people are very interested in their family history, but they don't want to gather the ingredients and cook the meal. They'd rather be invited to dinner to enjoy the meal. And so that is exactly what we do for our clients.
I like that. It seems learning, cherishing, passing down Black history is more important now than ever. Have you noticed an uptick in people desiring to find out more?
Absolutely. We're in an age right now, from a political perspective, where some would want us to take steps back and really embrace a narrower view of our shared history in this 250th commemoration of the United States of America. But there are so many people who rather would courageously continue to take steps forward to uncover, celebrate, and preserve a more whole and full understanding of our history.
You mentioned America celebrating 250 years, and African Americans are a big part of that history. You know firsthand by tracing your own roots, part of your new book. What did you find?
My genealogy research journey began more than 20 years ago when my father asked me to create a Kearns family tree for a family reunion that we were having in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so what started as a single family project really grew into a full-blown passion. My wife would say obsession, but I'll call it passion here for uncovering family history and really uncovering the overlooked lives that have shaped our family and our country. And so since then, I've been on this remarkable journey that's led to some pretty amazing life experiences. I've been able to trace back to some of the within my family history to some of the first Africans to arrive in colonial Virginia and visit the historical marker in Hampton, Virginia, that commemorates where they arrived. I've been able to trace my ancestry in one line back to a Revolutionary War patriot. And as a result, and because I'm able to prove that ancestry and that lineage, a few years ago, I was inducted into the Washington, D.C. chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. And then I have done the focus of my research has been tracing the history and the lives and the names and the contributions of my enslaved ancestors. And so in one instance, I traced an enslaved ancestor back to a plantation called Cedar Grove in Huntersville, North Carolina, which is in the suburbs of Charlotte, North Carolina. And traced that ancestor back to the place where she lived and she toiled. And the plantation is now under historic preservation. And so that preservation organization that manages the property invited me to visit the plantation house and give a lecture on my enslaved ancestor.
What was that like?
It was a really surreal experience. Visiting there for the first time, walking the grounds for the first time, really understanding that this was a place that enslaved my ancestor and really worked to render their names and their lives invisible. But also, I was profoundly grateful for the opportunity because I've done all this research and I was able to bring it. And I was able to share the name of my enslaved ancestor, share her story, share her family and descendants. And so now, her story is part of the story of that property and that land in the region. And so I just think that that's really important. So that's a little bit about my journey.
Would you just tell me her name? I'm just curious. Just give me her name.
Charlotte.
Mm.
I love that. It is important that we speak the names of our ancestors and bring them back to life. There's a saying, an old adage that, you die twice, the first time physically, and the second time, the last time a person speaks your name. And so through this research, it's kind of spiritual for me because I am bringing back to life the lives and the names of people who deserve to be remembered moving forward. And so that all leads me to sharing a little bit more about the book that I've published. It's called Finding Cornerstone Stories, Uncovering Inspiration in Your Family's History. And it's going to be published by American Ancestors, September 30th, 2026. And so this book is a result of the 20 years of research that I described. And it brings together 12 stories that I've uncovered in my own family. And it traces my family's journey through enslavement, emancipation, military service, entrepreneurship, education, the civil rights movement, and leadership. But the book really, while it is, it's inspirational stories that I found in my own family tree, it's bigger than that because at the end of each chapter, I invite readers to identify the cornerstone stories in their own families. And I give them the tools to do that. The stories that, people ask me, what is a cornerstone story? So a cornerstone for a builder is that foundational stone that they build a structure around. And so to me, cornerstone stories are stories in our family's history that explain who we are, where we came from, and the values upon which our families are built. And so every single family has cornerstone stories. And when we recover them, we discover not only where we came from, but what we are called to carry forward.
I think of people who learn things and are literally brought to tears. What's the reaction you get from families who get information they didn't know?
It is a really powerful thing. Through Black Ancestries, I'm able to engage with our clients and get their reactions to the history that we've shared with them. I think about one client recently. His quote was, "I think about what you shared with me every single day." And so our family stories are very powerful. And I pinch myself knowing that every day I get to gift them to people, to inspire them and to help them understand the larger legacy that they're a part of. Our family legacies, our life legacies do not start with us. They start with our ancestors and extend to us. They flow through us. And so it's very important for us to understand that every success that we may enjoy in our lives is built on the sacrifices of those who planted trees whose shade they may never enjoy.
Go to blackancestries.com to learn more.
We will reply promptly, and hopefully that will kick off a journey to uncover your family history.
André Kearns, thank you for helping us research and preserve our history.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for this time.
With Black News First, I'm Vanessa Tyler on the Black Information Network.